Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and we're now going to be approaching a sentence completion question. For this sort of question, what you need to focus most on is, yes, the vocab words that are being tested of you to know, but also words such as though at the beginning of a sentence, or also although or despite, things of the sort that indicate that the idea that is going to be introduced in the first half of the sentence will be completely different from the idea in the second half. And also words in the middle of the sentence such as however or despite this. And another thing that you should watch out for is anytime you see the word because, due to this, hence, or things of the sort. And here we have the word because. So the first requirement that this pair of words needs to satisfy is that the idea in the first half of the sentence be different from the idea in the second half, and that's because we have the word though here in the beginning. The second requirement that these pairs of words are going to need to satisfy, or one of these pairs of words will need to satisfy, is that whatever word comes in second gives a valid reason to the question, why is John Dillinger remaining difficult to track? So you should be able to say, because his private life was a perfect model of blank. So you have to have a valid reason or cause here. So we're going to go ahead and test all of these pairs of answers on these two requirements. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. Though he had a well-documented fondness for fast cars, so he liked fast cars, well-behaved, and narrow escapes, the reason John Dillinger remained difficult to track is because his private life was the perfect model of daring. Well, if your private life is a perfect model of daring, you're not going to be difficult to track. You're going to attract attention to yourself. And also, that's not very different from liking fast cars, wild behavior, and narrow escapes. In fact, when he's robbing and in his private life, he seems to be doing the same, so this answer choice doesn't make much sense. The second option we have here is that he has a talent for fast cars, well behavior, narrow escapes. And the reason he's difficult to track is because his private life is a perfect model of indulgence. Well, you could argue that by engaging in wild behavior, having a talent for fast cars and for narrow escapes, he is indulging desires for daring things, which would be the same. But more importantly, you can say that indulgence has absolutely nothing to do with why you would be difficult to track or not, at least unless we make some major assumptions. So this one doesn't make sense because it doesn't directly satisfy each of these requirements. So this third option here, though he had a well-documented attraction to fast cars, wild behavior, and narrow escapes, so even though it's well known that he likes those things, John Dillinger remained difficult to track because his private life was a perfect model of capriciousness. So being capricious would make you difficult to track in that, by definition, it means somebody that makes rash decisions, gut decisions, decisions that are not easy to foresee. But if we know that he has a well-documented attraction to fast cars, wild behavior, and narrow escapes when he robs, which are all things that are hard to foresee, that wouldn't be the opposite then of what he does in his private life. So though wouldn't make sense anymore there at the beginning of the sentence. So that's not the right answer. For the fourth option here, though he had a well-documented indifference to fast cars, wild behavior, so all of a sudden he doesn't care about these things with this option, John Dillinger remained difficult to track because his private life was a perfect model of luxury. Well, if he's luxurious in private, that doesn't necessarily make you more difficult to track, and that's not directly opposite to being indifferent to fast cars, wild behavior, and narrow escapes when you're robbing. So that doesn't really make sense. Having a penchant for, being inclined to driving fast cars, engaging in wild behavior, and escaping narrowly during robberies is, though, the opposite of showing restraint in private life, being a person that's not very exuberant or showy, like they are when they're robbing. And showing restraint then does make you difficult to track because you're a person that acts just as everybody else. So this would be the best choice for this problem. I hope that helped. And happy prepping, everybody.